Top 25 games of 2017. These are games that you really need to buy, well, at least according to the demos, because they seem pretty hectic and according to the trailers. Now, let's go. At number 25, we have Nier Automata. Nier Automata is the upcoming sequel to a cult favorite action RPG released in 2010. The fact it actually exists is a surprise in itself, given how the original developer Kavya was absorbed by its parent company not long after it launched. However, famed developer Platinum Games has stepped up to the plate to craft a continuation to this once elevated series, and looks like one of the most promising games the studio has made yet. With members of the original team also working on Nier Automata, the sequel to hardcore fans have been craving. Taking place sometime after the events of the first game, the game puts you in the role of an elite android tasked with driving off an envisioned machine-like being from another world. Simple setup, but the hectic, fast-paced battles that ensue are a major highlight of what this game has to offer. I simply cannot wait to wail on the robots with oversized swords and good times once the game launches in March. Well, according to the demos and the trailer, this game is OP, guys. You should really buy it. Moving forward to number 24, we have Parappa the Rapper Remastered. The classic PlayStation 1 rhythm game Parappa the Rapper has been released before, but that was only shortly on the PlayStation Portable. However, the upcoming remaster will bring the quirky experience to PS4 with beautiful enhanced graphics. Parappa has a timeless cartoon visual style, but the remaster will remove the jagged edges that detracted from the paper-like aesthetic of the earlier version while retaining the infectious and catchy tunes. A demo of the remaster was made available in December as part of Parappa's 20th anniversary, but the final game isn't due until unspecified time in 2017. At number 23, we have Ni no Kuni Revenant Kingdom. The original Ni no Kuni was a magical collaboration between Level 5, known for a professional Layton series, and Studio Ghibli, the Oscar-winning animation studio. It combined solid RPG mechanics with absolutely gorgeous visual style, and while the sequel will not involve Studio Ghibli in the mix directly, their previous work on the series can clearly be seen in the game screenshots. However, outside of the announcement at E3 in 2015, details about the game have been scant, but it won't be seen in the same world as its previous game. GameSpot's 9 out of 10 review of Ni no Kuni, the reviewer Kevin Van Horn said the hallmark of the greatest RPGs is that you don't want to stop playing them. And Ni no Kuni probably joins that elite group of games providing such an enticing world that you can't imagine never having visited. The only problem, of course, is that you may never want to leave. With that kind of pedigree, it's hard not to have high expectations of what comes next for Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. I believe the demo is out, and I will leave a link to the description of this game if you want to buy it in the description below as all the other games. Moving forward to number 22, Dragon Quest XI, which I think means Dragon Quest 11. The current generation of consoles have provided abundance of Dragon Quest riches. In addition to Dragon Quest Heroes and 3DS versions of VII, which is 6, and VIII, which is 8, I think. We're also going to get a numbered version in the series, Dragon Quest 11. Little is known about the game currently, but it's going to be released on a very disparate set of systems, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and 3DS. The game hasn't been shown running on Nintendo's upcoming console at all, so it's unclear how it will compare graphically to the PS4 version. But it goes without saying that the 3DS version won't look quite as nice. To make up for the graphical shortcomings, the handheld version will have some kind of Street Pass functionality. The lower half of the screen will display the world and retro 16-bit graphics. And who knows, maybe Dragon Quest Q11 is finally a hit in the West. We might finally get a port of Dragon Quest MMO Dragon Quest X, which is 10, I think. Now let's get it started here at number 21, Gran Turismo Sport. The low number of Gran Turismo releases made the series fell overshadowed by others, more prolific racing games in recent years, but it's exactly this deliberate pace that makes us look forward to what this team at Philadelphia Digital will come up with next at Gran Turismo Sport. MGT really seems to be a labor of love spanning years of work, with the series always pushing the boundaries of what's achievable in simulation racing games. We're particularly excited to see how sports will utilize this PS4 Pro. Gran Turismo games have always looked spectacular, but with the power of Sony's latest console upgrade behind it, Sport may achieve visual fidelity we've never seen before. At numero 20, we have For Honor. Despite learning more in the recent months about exactly how Ubisoft's upcoming action game plays, there's still a lot of mystery around For Honor. We know the game is a mix of hack and slash coupled with more complex mechanics of a fighting game, but how will the game turn that premise into a compelling experience in both its single player and multiplayer components? How exactly will the For Honor campaign play out? How will multiplayer work, and how will the game's announced factions play into the larger scheme of things? For Honor has me in particular asking these questions and more, making it one of the most anticipated games for 2017. Marching forward to number 19, Tekken 7. Tekken 7 has been in Japanese arcades since March 2015, but it has yet to land on home gaming systems. That should change in late Q1 to early Q2 in 2017 when the game hits PC and console, which also marks the series' first entry on PC. One element to Tekken's formula that we know is getting revamped is Destroy Mode. In previews and interviews, lead developer Katsuhiro Harada emphasized that Tekken 7 will have a cinematic look and feel that seamlessly blends into his fighting sequences. Some situations will put players in matches with special conditions to portray story theatrics, and Street Fighter regular Akuma is set to be integral to Tekken story mode in some way. Tekken has been a staple of competitive fighting games and scenes and tournaments around the world, which have already been taking place for Tekken 7. Bandai Nakima sponsors its own King of Iron Fist tournament and the game has been featured at EVO since 2015. The audience and competition will grow even larger once the game hits shelves in the coming year. Well, according to the demos and the reviews, this game is great for fighting. Number 18, we have Pip. Supergiant Games, the creators of Bastion and Translator, is making a slight departure from the direction of its past two games. Judging from early gameplay, Pyre will play like a fusion of sports, strategy, RPG, and mobile games. It conceptually akin to any sports game where an object must be placed in a goal, but each character has abilities similar to Dota 2's champions, and the real twist is it's wrapped into a story-driven RPG. It may sound crazy, but after playing through this game's opening sequence, it's easy to see how the gameplay elements will make for hectic, exciting battles. There's strong familiarity in Pierre's music and art style. The music harkens back to acoustic trip-hop with the western flavor found in Bastion, then incorporates electronic touch reminiscent of Translator. The hand-illustrated art style will make a comeback as well, painting a majestic picture of nomads traversing plains in search of a home while battling in supernatural arenas. The game is set to release in 2017 on PlayStation 4 and PC. At 17, we have Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. After nearly 6 years absent, Crash Bandicoot has finally returned. But rather than a new entry in the series, developer Victorious Visions has instead remastered the first three games, titled Crash Bandicoot and Sane Trilogy. The game is already shaping up to a charming celebration of Crash's past, reminding us precisely why he was such a powerful character to begin with. Already for the first game's remaster seems to recapture the quirky, vibrant personality of PS1's original, while probably modernizing its visuals to current standards. Because Vision's high-definition recreations at iconic levels instantly made us nostalgic. We're eager to experience it, if only to return to games that kickstarted Naughty Dog's career. It's occurred that this insane trilogy even came to be. After all, the current owner of Crash is none other than Activision, not Sony. However, the two companies struck a partnership to create the remasters. We're crossing our fingers that this remastered collection is only the beginning of what to come from Sony's iconic horror mask. And numero 16, we have Nier. One cause Nier re-debuted at last year's Tokyo Game Show after nearly a decade of being absent from trade shows. Our collector jaw dropped. This one-dormant action game based on an unfinished script by director Akira Kurashi started development internally at Kale for PS3, but then development stalled. Now under the direction of Team Ninja, Neo takes the precise action elements from the studio's previous work on Ninja Gaiden series and combines it with the tense, atmospheric dungeon crawling of Dark Souls. You play as one of the four noble heroes in Japan during the cynical period in pursuit of a mysterious foe. While his journey has him crossing paths with famous figures in Japanese history, it also has him dealing with an infestation of demons and other monstrosities. Neo's premise alone has us eager to play it. A Souls Isekai game filled with Japanese mythological creatures is something we never knew we wanted until now. For two demos we played, the upcoming action dungeon crawl is shaping up to be a fascinating new twist on Dark Souls formula. Its twitch-based combat system resembles like of Bloodborne, but its speed and flow are more pushing. We look forward to the struggle of rising up to Neo's brutal challenges once it launches in February. Number 15, we have Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. At some point, Resident Evil stopped being scary. The fifth game introduced co-op, 6 doubled down on action, and launchers like Operation Raccoon City focused entirely on shooting. All this felt like an unwound detour for a franchise originally rooted in survival horror. Now finally, Resident Evil is taking the series back to its roots. Resident Evil 7 has several dormant concepts central to the series' identities: cryptic puzzles, collectible keys, limited saves, inventory management, even healing herbs return. You play as Ethan Winters, who, unlike the most well-known military-trained Christopher Redfield, is just an average guy who is searching for his missing wife, Maya. Based on while captured and held captive by a grotesque, dysfunctional family on a direct Louisiana plantation. Another he gradually collects weapons like a pistol, shotgun, and a makeshift flamethrower. He still is vulnerable in the face of plantations, hidden horrors, and stomach-turning bosses. He's in search for his wife, drives the story forward, but we already see there's quite a few hints, something deeper and more sinister within the soft compound, and may connect back to the series' long-running conspiracies. We'll find out on January 24th. And yeah, guys, let's move on. 14. We have Nidhogg 2. On the surface, Nidhogg appears to be revolved around head-to-head side-scrolling duels, but in actuality, it's a tug of war with swords. Rather than simply killing your opponent, your real goal is to successfully battle your way across 3 screens and reach a final scoring zone before the other player respawns and stops you. Of course, your opponent has the exact same goal. You can slash, punch, and die kick each other, but only one player who scores the last kill is allowed to run towards the goal. Naturally, this results in a penalty of unexpected last-second momentous shifts that turns the game into couch co-op magic. Nidhogg 2 takes the same format as the original game and amps the presentation while altering the underlying mechanics very little. The game features a new, more grotesque art style as well as a revamped soundtrack, new weapons, and a larger selection of stages. You'll even find online options and a single-player campaign of all sorts that lets you battle AI and complete special challenges. At 13, which is French for 13, we have Injustice 2. The follow-up to Netherlands Studios' Injustice Gods Among Us, which I played, was actually pretty fun, introduced a lot of character customization items that gave the wearer stat bonuses. If you have any familiarity with fighting games, you'll know just how bold and potentially upsetting this decision is. On one hand, it could introduce replayability that few other fighting games have by letting players create their own unique version of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and various other DC heroes and villains. On the other hand, if NetherRealm isn't able to properly balance 100 pieces of unique equipment, the online multiplayer could quickly become filled with the same overpowered builds to dominate anyone that dares to not use the best characters and equipment. It's going to be a challenge for its developers, and we're looking forward to see how it plays out. The first Injustice is also one of the few fighting games that has a storyline worth paying attention to. The narrative was strong enough to spawn a critically acclaimed comic book spin-off. And for those invested in the story, yes, we exist. The sequel gives us the next chapter. At number 12, we have Marvel's Capcom Infinite. Okay, before we start, it's called this because Infinity Stones are included, which is why they call it Infinite. It allows people like Hulk to fly or become smart or stuff like that. Okay, now to the important drastic changes. So it changes from 3v3 to a 2v2, and most people thought that this game series would have ended, but they surprised us at PSX. Alright, so imagine Hulk, traditionally a powerful slow character, using a time gem to make himself go faster and slower without even knowing. Alright, moving on. Number 11, we have Pyre. Pyre as a franchise has it pretty rough. The original sci-fi shooter launched more than a decade ago, and the sequel has been forthcoming ever since. Now, several developers later, Pyre has landed in the capable hands of Arkane Studios. Arkane's Pyre combines the thematic elements from the original Pyre with gameplay clearly just inspired by Arkane's own games. Just like Dishonored's supernatural assassin protagonist Morgan Wu has a wide variety of unusual abilities and inventive tools at his or her disposal. He can possess objects using mimic in order to hide from enemies or maneuver through tight spaces. He can use a rifle to shoot foam which immortalizes floats and hardens to create ramps, ledges, or whatever else you can think of. And when else fails, he can break out a pistol and blast his creepy amorphous alien adversaries into bits. According to the team at Arkane Tales 1, the direct space station where Morgan finds himself in some kind of scientific conspiracy is fully open from the start of the game. It's simply up to the players to figure out where to go and how to get there, even if it means venturing out in space. Red Dead Redemption 2 is here, and it's number 10. And Red Dead Redemption is basically like Red Dead Redemption 1, but it has a multiplayer component with a single player component as well. It's based in South America and north parts of Mexico. It has a big sprawling optimistic view of America, and yeah, guys, it's kind of like the old Western times. Now let's move. Number 9, we have Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Following a spin-off that bridges the gap between the first two games, Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony will be the first new numbered game entry in the series in 3 years. The basic premise here is familiar. Students who are exceptional in some way are locked in school and only allowed to leave if they can murder someone and get through a trial without being caught. But the setting has changed along with the entire cast, save for cover star murder spirit thing Monokuma. Mechanically, class trials will have some new elements, including more minigames and team-based debates, all which should help keep things fresh. But all we really need is another well-told story for V3 to warrant enthusiasm. And number 8, we have Persona 5. The Persona series has a track record of expertly crafting seemingly disparate things. A traditional turn-based RPG in the mold of a Shin Megami Tensei and a high school student simulator. Persona 5 continues a lot of things this Persona series does, but with new wrinkles. You still build social links with friends and acquaintances by going to movies, visiting cafes, and other things in real world. But this time, you're in the shoes of a high school student who leads a group of phantom thieves that set out to help change the world for the better. The task place you visit now includes environment puzzles and new ways to navigate. Rather than more confining layout for your game's dungeons, you'll find things that you can jump on to maneuver around enemies, and cover system lets you subtly bypass foes. Similarly, combat introduces new mechanics such as letting you high-five a teammate to pass the character's turn and give you a boost. Now, place go. At number 7, we have Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 has been under the radar for many people, despite being around for more than a decade. Unlike GTA, its Yakuza games tell one overarching story that spans 5 games and counting. That makes Yakuza 0 a prequel to the original Yakuza, the perfect entry point for newcomers and an exciting look into formative years. Of series mainstays are Kuzumi Sekiro and Goro Majama. Well, sorry if I said that wrong. More characters are playable, and each set of feature own sets of 3 distinct fighting styles. You can rotate 3D styles on the fly, allowing you to blend different approaches to combat style when you're not picking up a nearby object, be it a couch or a bicycle, to beat enemies senseless with. Factor in the usual wide array of side activities, which include character and dancing games, pool, batting cages, and playable retro games, and you have a making of the first solid Yakuza game. At number 6, we have Friday the 13th. This game is hectic. It includes people like Jason Burrows, right? And he hunts people down at Crystal Lake. So this game has a multiplayer component and a single player component. It is hectic. It has lots of brutality, and well, it's just like the perspective of serial killer for some people, and this perspective of victim hunt for some other people. And now let's go. At number 5, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront was well, in the beginning it was okay, but after that it went a bit downhill. And according to EA, they will make the single player even better so that people will not lose interest. And yeah, so they don't want what happened in Star Wars Battlefront 1 to happen in Star Wars Battlefront 2. They're gonna make it even pretty hectic, according to EA at least. It's gonna be released in fall 2017. Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn's debut at E3 was one of the most memorable moments from the show. Ever since then, I've been clamoring to hear more about the protagonist Aloy and her adventures across a post-apocalyptic world dominated by mechanical creatures. This end creates an instant of style, blending elements of sci-fi and prehistoric. In addition, it supports a mechanically rich combat and hunting system, allowing you the ability to methodically set up traps and fire various types of arrows and explosives at the robotic creatures that roam the lands. And according from the demos I played, it's hectic. Original Stress with Godfrey Thirst. Uncharted The Lost Legacy. Chloe and Eddie are 2 of the more memorable and mysterious characters in the Uncharted universe, so I was happy to learn that Nidhogg is avoiding a standalone experience to appear. I'm finally get to learn more about them next year with Uncharted The Lost Legacy for PS4. The game will put you in the woods of Chloe, one of Drake's love interests from the past. We're interested to learn more about her backstory and how it connects to the evil yet sympathetic villain Nadine. Nidhogg has been a single player DLC before, but this is the first story expansion for Uncharted. All we've seen of The Lost Legacy is a trailer from PSX, but it's captured our attention with stealth and action movement. At 2, we have Mass Effect Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda has been on my radar ever since it was originally announced back in June 2015. Mainly because the original trilogy is so goddamn good. Now that we have some real contrary information about the game, my hype level is higher than ever. Even though Andromeda starts fresh, opting for a new setting, the distant Andromeda Galaxy, around 600 years after the end of the previous trilogy, and he provides your Pathfinder searching for humanity's new home. The spirit of the franchise clearly lives on. New alien races, military institutions, and political complications central to the Mass Effect universe return, as do the series' trademark dialogue trees, the power-based shooting, and planet hopping explorations as well. And this game, right, the first one was a success, but I don't know how to say how much of a success. It was goddamn good. At number 1, we have Outlast 2. The first Outlast was a surprise horror hit. It released on free for PS Plus, and it was such a hit that it kind of scared me that it was free though, right? It surprised me. Outlast 2 prides itself on an atmosphere and sense of foreboding, plus an occasional jump scare, and that doesn't seem to have changed in the second entry. The appearance of Outlast 2 has been upgraded from Outlast 1. Outlast 2 is sticking to the original building camcorder mechanic, which allows you to see in the dark until you run out of power. That pressure forces you to conserve battery while when your batteries are dead, you're plunged into darkness, which ramps up the tension even more. Alright guys, that was the top 25 games of 2017 that you need to buy. I'm sorry that I sound like a kid, going through puberty and stuff like that. You know how it is. Alright, please be sure to comment to let me know if you like this, if I should continue what I'm doing right now, or if you hate this and I should never do it again. Please tell me if I missed any of the games, and I will try to announce them if I do make another video later on. Please smash that like button if you enjoy this video at any point, and what else? Please be sure to subscribe. Yeah, I only have 100 subs, right? I would like to reach 1,000 subs by 2017 at least, because I know, guys, you are awesome. You are wonderful, right? By the way, guys, I wanted to start a new thing, and tell me if you'd like it. I'm gonna be starting this thing where, since my YouTube name is Freakstorm, I'm gonna be start calling you all freaks, because technically we're isn't everybody a freak? A freak of nature, right? That's why we call it Freakstorm. And peace out, guys. Enjoy, leave a thumbs up, and this was Freakstorm. Peace out.